Welcome to Muscle Nutrition. My name is Franco Petrillo. We're now in episode 3, season 1. Today we're going to be talking about how Joe Weider created the Mr. Olympia and why he created the Mr. Olympia and how he got the name of the Mr. Olympia. We're going to be talking about this great new product called Phytoceuticals in our nutrition department. Great product from a company called Anabolic Sciences. We're going to be talking about our exercise segment of Biceps, and we got our questions and answers again. So let's start off with how the Joe Weider Mr. Olympia was created. The biggest bodybuilding show in the world. I mean, it's the Super Bowl, the World Series, the World Cup of bodybuilding. Okay, the best of the best. You know, it started in 1965. Joe and Ben Weider created it. Basically, the first winner was Larry Scott and Sergio Olympia, and then the great Arnold Schwarzenegger, and so on and so on. The reason why the Mr. Olympia was created was because the show was the Mr. Universe, which was the best amateur, but Joe needed a show to feature his champions. I mean, once you won the universe, they needed something else, and they needed to make money. If I remember right, I think the first Mr. Olympia in 1965, Larry Scott, I think he won $1,000 when he won the show. Today, I think the winner walks out between $650,000 to $700,000, and then also at the same time, a lot of sponsorships from supplement companies, you know, in the millions. We want to thank Joe for giving the bodybuilders this opportunity. How did the name get created? There was a gentleman sitting with Joe Weider. I do know his name, but I'm not sure if that was a gentleman, so I don't really want to mention him. But if it is him, his initials are RW, so he can get back to me and let me know if he was a gentleman sitting with Joe. And Joe was sitting there in a restaurant going, what am I going to call this show? Now, the rumor goes there was a beer sitting on the table, and it was called Olympia. And Joe said, that's it, the Mr. Olympia. And today you have the Mr. Olympia, Miss Fitness Olympia. This one that I got in from a company called Anabolic Science. This one here is called WhenV. Basically what phytoceutical sterols are, very safe. It lowers your cholesterol. It comes from plants. Doing our research, what we really found, what was really great about this product, it helps build muscle, lower cholesterol, lower cardiovascular risk. Again, being sold at one of our sponsors, iSmartNutrition.com. It's definitely a product I'm going to try. We're going to talk today about bicep training, okay? Because you know what? It's something that a lot of the young kids like. You know, they want to have big biceps. Everybody wants to have big biceps. I'm going to give you an example. This is a very light, cheap dumbbell, but you have what's called the hammer curl. You know, your wrist is turned like this, so a lot of the arm gets built over here with the bicep. Then as soon as you turn it like this, more on the bicep. There's what's called a concentration curl, where you bring the arm in and you come all the way down and you put in, because it really targets the bicep on top. One of the more popular style of biceps is what's called the Scott curl. It's where you put your arms over the bench like this and you're pulling it up, and your arms are towards the bench. And like this. There's different styles of bicep, but what's very important when you're doing the exercise is not to swing the arm, because now you're using the shoulder. So it's very important that you keep arm close to your body, you stretch, and as you come up, you hold it for a second and you come back down. Very slow movement, very good technique. Don't use a weight that's too heavy, because if it's too heavy, you're basically swinging it. Technique is very important. Again, the hammer, you know, there's cables, there's so many different styles of bicep, but what's very important is to get the long extension, to use a weight that you're very comfortable with, and proper technique, okay? Okay, so I like this one. How do I find a good trainer? What should I look for in a good trainer? This is from Sue from Missouri. What would I do if I was looking for a trainer, or what I would recommend? What's very important is credentials. You know, find out where they're certified from, what they're certified in. There's trainers that are certified in all different styles of training, athletic training, bodybuilding. Find out what their passion is. And also, I would like to get some credentials, meaning like, who have you trained in the past? Where have you trained? How long you've been doing it? Try to do follow-ups, because number one, if the trainer doesn't know what they're doing, you can get hurt. Find a good trainer. Find one, that has great credentials, loves what they're doing. I've gone to gyms where I've seen trainers bored out of their heads, basically in their head like, I can't wait till this hour is over, you don't want that. You're paying anywhere between $40 to $150 an hour. That's hard-earned money. Make sure you find someone that wants to work with you and has a passion for what they do. And is not just there for the money, is there to get results for you. Because if you don't get results, then you're basically putting money in the trash. That's our show for today. Every Friday, that's when we're on, every Friday on YouTube and Facebook, our next show. Okay, episode 4. We're going to talk about the list of Mr. Olympia since 1965. Who's won the show? The greatest bodybuilding show in the world. We can't do it in one show, so we're going to probably split this up into 3 shows. Well, I think there's, if I remember right, 15 men that have won the Mr. Olympia, so we'll talk about 5 each show. We'll probably be talking about herbs and the importance of herbs. Herbs are great supplementation. We're going to talk about leg training for the exercise segment, legs. Again, we're going to have the question and answers, so keep your questions and answers coming into musclenutrition.com. Live healthy, be happy, take care of yourselves, okay? We'll see you next week.